Welcome to day 10. This is the final grief prompt video in our series. What I'm going to ask you to do today is to look back at all of your responses and summarize them. The reason I asked you to undertake this experiment was to find out if you can now recognize that there is you, there is the person that you loved who has died, and somewhere in the middle there is your grief. And it's so important to know that your relationship with your grief is critical to doing your grief work, is critical to honoring the person who has died. So please look back at all of your responses. Try to ask yourself, the question today is, what can you do differently? How can you hold your grief differently? Where can you imagine changing your relationship with your grief? And please, this is the key. Changing your relationship with your grief. This belief of mine comes from thousands of hours of supporting people in their grief, in their dark moments, and of doing my own grief work. So please give it some consideration. How can you imagine changing your relationship with your grief? In this email, I'm going to send an anonymous questionnaire, and if I get enough people answering back, then I'll make a video to compile people's responses, and I'll send them to everyone who has participated. So as a final goodbye, I wanted to say thank you for joining in. I thank you, your grief thanks you, your person thanks you, because this is how you honor them, doing your grief differently. So thank you, take care, and it was so wonderful to have you as part of this experiment.